Welcome, Ambitchious. Don't forget to mute yourselves. No one wants to hear you beat your kids in the background. No one wants to hear you yelling at your husband and saying he has a small penis in the background. So mute yourselves, mute yourselves. No one wants to hear you beating your children's asses in the background. God, I love it. Woo! Yes, queens. Welcome, Ambitchious. Hey, I know a lot of you guys don't have your cameras on, but to those who do, holla. Hey, I am so freaking excited. I'm so freaking excited for today. So as you guys come on, get comfy, get cozy, feel free to go in the chat and say hi to everybody. This is such an amazing event tonight. I'm so grateful that all of you are here and took time out of your busy lives to come on here and receive this healing tonight. And remember, part about being here tonight is about being open to receiving the healing that's about to take place. And each and every one of you, it is my goal to help each and every one of you release everything that we can release for what is actually happening tonight for this full moon. So I'm just going to go to my chats. So wherever you are, if you can type, if you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, please feel free to go into the chat and just say, hey, and where you're from. So all the girls can read the chat and you guys can maybe make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. I don't know if you guys remember that, but if you did, I still sing that song from time to time, not gonna lie. Oh, hello, everybody. Hold on, let me let some more people in. Jess is like, what up, bitches? Happy full moon. This is gonna be good. Dina says, I'll pop my camera on in a minute. Frank chose right now to come in my Betterment change. I mean, I would enjoy a free show. I'm not gonna lie, Dina. So if you just wanna let that happen. I also wanna give a humongous shout out to my girl, Aria, who is Amanda Greco's daughter. Kisses, kisses, kisses. Hey, girl. I also want to apologize. I have no makeup on because her mother literally gave me facial dreams today. So I have no makeup on. I am very greasy. I'm the equivalent of a Dunkin' Donuts glazed donut. If you guys don't know what that is, it's very delicious and it will make you not shit for about a week. Or if you're like me, you will shit for a week after you eat that donut. But Aria is a little bebe. She's a little ambitch in the making. Yes. So everybody say hi to Aria and give her love, because really when young women participate in these type of healing sessions with their moms, it literally makes my heart sing, because don't y'all wish that like your mom was having you come into a freaking new moon or a full moon sound healing or of like some kind of amazingness? I mean, my mother just would beat me with a shoe or a wooden spoon. Tell me I'm not the only one. Tell me I'm not the only one. Stacy's here, Lazy's here, Brenna, hey girl, Lindsay, Karen. We got girls from Mass, we got girls from Connecticut, we have girls from New Hampshire, Pennsylvania. Yes. Oh my God. Jolie is from Mattapoisett. Those are my old stomping grounds, girlfriends. Hello, welcome. And welcome to all the new women who are here too. You know, it takes a lot of hairy labia lips to go out of your way to do something that's like out of your comfort zone. So anyone that's new here who has never experienced anything like this before, welcome, 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 welcome. Ah, I'm so excited. I love this. This makes me so happy. We got people from Tennessee. We got people from California. Aw. Yes, Dina from Hampstead. Hey, girl. Hey, I miss you. We got girls from New York. This is so exciting. Can you imagine women from all over the world are doing this? Like, how freaking cool is this? Pennsylvania, Boston, Pittsburgh. I love it. Aw, that's okay, Rachel. I direct message sometimes too by accident. It's just the way of the world. The bitchhood is strong today. It makes me so happy. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. So I know that I've been talking a lot about the energies of this full moon on not only Instagram, but also, and I don't really do a lot of stuff on Instagram. The real conversations, the real bitcherhood is on my app on Mighty Networks. So now that you guys are all here, welcome. And like I said, the real shit happens over there. So, you know, feel free to always be on the Instagram lookout, but the real stuff is really happening, honestly, over on Mighty Networks. And we also have a DM feature there where everyone can chit chat and do all the things. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. Some of you already kind of have heard some of the energies that are coming through for this full moon. Remember, we also had a lunar eclipse last night. So if you did miss the lunar eclipse, like where I live in Windham, New Hampshire, which is southern New Hampshire, we had a torrential, insane downpour and a crazy thunder and lightning storm. So there was no eclipsing happening. I mean, it was happening, but it was like under the, you know, the clouds were covering everything. So I wasn't really outside doing anything witchy, but obviously I was hyper aware of all the things that were going on. And I was doing a lot of my rituals, but a lot of healers or people in the spiritual world, they'll say, you know, if you miss this full moon, or if you miss this thing that's happening auspiciously in the universe, like you can't work with the energies anymore. And that's not true. I always tell people, give yourself a buffer of 3 days before and 3 days after. So say like the lunar eclipse happened last night, you could have started doing stuff like on, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you can also do stuff today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So don't get like freaked out, like, oh, I missed the eclipse or I missed the full moon and now I can't do my rituals. No, 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 no. And the other thing about rituals is this is not about religion. This is not about anything that has to do with religion, organized religion. This has nothing to do with religion, period. This is energy. And this is you as a sovereign, autonomous high priestess queen, that you are so fucking powerful that you can have and do and experience anything that you desire in the world. And using the energy of moons and where the different planets are and where the stars are aligning or whatever is just about knowing who the fuck you are and where we came from. Because hundreds of even thousands of years ago, women were so connected to the moon in all of her phases. And through all of the patriarchy, we have had this beaten out of us. We have, you know, there's a really funny reel on Instagram that I want to use. And it's like, in 300 years ago, this woman would be tied to a stake and burned at the stake if they were doing this. It's like, it's funny, but it's kind of fucking true. I mean, only 300, 400 years ago were burning times. Burning times were up until the 1800s. So if you like knew that you were strong and you knew you were powerful and you were just working with the energies of the universe, people get very afraid of that. So don't let that get in your head. Like, oh, I'm doing something against my religion. I'm Catholic. I grew up, you know, raised in the Catholic Church. I went to church every day. I went to Catholic school. I said the rosary every day. I prayed. Like I was so afraid of God and the nuns and the priests and all the things. So when people like come to me and they say like, oh, well, this is like Satan stuff. No, it's not. I'm Catholic. I love baby Jesus in a tuxedo t-shirt. I still pray the rosary. I still do it all. But this is just one extra added bonus of being alive in this day and age and being able to realize that our thoughts and our words and our deeds create our reality. And it actually says it in the Bible. I mean, it says it in the Bible I've read for the last 41 years of my life, right? And tonight's energy is very dark. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a divine, feminine, dark energy way. And I'm not going to get too into the energy of Lilith, but I've been using a lot of Lilith energy in the last couple days to really step into my power, to really get rid of limiting, lack, not enough mindset. And that's the energies that we're going to be working with today. So the way that tonight is going to roll is this. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the energies of the moon. And then we're going to go into the rituals. And then we're going to go into a really hardcore journaling. Now, I don't expect you to do all this work tonight because it's pretty intense. So you can do it over the next week or so. And I would love for you guys to get onto the academy and like have a conversation there about like how your rituals and like what you've manifested and, you know, what you've had as aha moments, if you will. Okay. And then we're going to go over the actual releasement of these energies so that you can really step into your power. And then at the end of it, we're going to get into some sound healings to kind of wrap it up in this like perfectly curated little package. How's that sound? Pretty fucking amazing, right? Okay, so let's talk about the energies of this moon. So number one, the blood moon tonight is in Scorpio. Okay, and I love Scorpio energy. If anyone's a Scorpio here, I love you. You're my people. Scorpio energy is all about death and rebirth. It's all about letting the old you die so that the new you can be reborn. How many people here know for a fact, they're holding the motherfucking mirror up to themselves, that you are holding on to shit, to people, to experiences, to limitations, to lack, to not enoughness, that you know that you have to let go because it's actually what is impeding you from going to the next level? Please feel free to either raise your hand or type it in the chat, right? Same. The energies of this full moon also have a lot to do with money and power. So money and power. What do I mean by that? For everyone here, no matter if you're watching this live or you're going to watch the recording, you know, tomorrow, the next day, etc. Everyone here, I don't care who you are. I don't care who your mother was. I don't care who your father was. I don't care where you come from, where you were born, what your life story is. Everyone here deserves to be wealthy, rich, abundant, beyond measure. And I think that a lot of people don't really even know or understand what the word abundance means. The word abundance means an overwhelming amount of something all of the time. An overwhelming overabundance of something all of the time. Okay? That being said, do you think that truly that God made like half of us to be rich bitches and he made the other half to be broke ass hoes? Do you really believe that? Come on. Like, do you really believe that God's like, yeah, all these hookers over here, they're going to be rich bitches, and all these putas over here, they're going to just be broke ass hoes? No, God doesn't do that. That is not the God that I know. That is not how the universe works. Everyone here, no matter where they come from, who they are, where they were born, who they were born into, we all start with the same energetic vibrational frequency, which is of creation. Okay. So if you do the right things, you say the right words, you do the right actions, and you think the right thoughts, everyone can have the same amount of money, time, freedom, abundance of love, abundance of experience, abundance of joy, abundance of time, whatever you desire, right? And for everybody here, it's going to be a different thing. And so many of the women I work with from all across the globe have such limiting self-beliefs around money. And this full moon is all about releasing this lack money mindset. And you may not even work. You may not have a job. You do have a job if you're a stay-at-home mom. You may be a stay-at-home mom where you don't go into an office, you don't create anything, you just are a mom, which in my opinion is the hardest fucking job in the world, by the way. And you don't get paid anything, which really sucks a lot of dicks, but that's a different story for a different day, okay? I'm not gonna get into that, but you feel me here, okay? And if you are an entrepreneur or you are a business owner or you do have a job or a career, You deserve to be wealthy and abundant. But because we were all born into our families of origin who would say things like, money doesn't grow on trees. Do you think I'm made of money? And if you're hearing these words and you're like, oh my God, this is my mother, this is my father, this is my grandparents, these are my caregivers, please type in the chat like that you're feeling me and this is resonating with me, with you, what I'm saying. But if you hear like, you know, filthy rich, okay, money doesn't grow on trees. I'm not made of money. Only rich people can afford that. Rich people must have fucked somebody over to have the money that they have, because wealthy people are all evil. Wealthy people have sold their soul to the devil to make this money. If you were brought up Catholic or Christian like me, there was parts of the Bible that said it's easier to get a camel through the eye of a needle than to get a rich man to heaven. Who's heard these things? The meek shall inherit the earth, right? We've heard all this shit. And even though we hear this and we are like, okay, that just doesn't feel good. That just doesn't feel right. Something's wrong with this. We have it beaten into our brain from day one. And then as we get older, we wonder why we are always checking our bank accounts because we're afraid of bouncing a check. Or we're constantly saying things like, I can't afford that, that's too expensive, blah, 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 blah. But right, we've all said these things, myself included. I grew up very poor. I grew up with a lack money mindset. I grew up with the idea that you had to literally work your hands to the bone to make money. Who was brought up with this idea? You have to work your fucking ass off to make money, right? Money don't come easy. Or I grew up with my family saying like, oh, my job is killing me. My job is killing me. Who has said that in their lives? Oh my God, this fucking job is killing me. Or they've heard that, oh my God, my job is just killing me. It's sucking the life out of me. Don't you understand how motherfucking powerful you are? Don't you understand that every word that comes out of your mouth and every thought that you think is a creative energy, because we were made in the likeness of God? Okay. So when you just say shit because you're just like trying to be funny or you're trying to be cute, or it's just like in your groove patterns of your brain because you're being a drifter and you're stuck in hypnotic rhythm, do you not understand that everything that you say is creating your reality? Right? Kim is saying, we don't have a money tree in the backyard. Yep. Broke bitch energy my entire life. Amanda's saying, absolutely. My house too. Jolie saying, I'm feeling you. Dina saying, absolutely. Yes. I so am feeling you. Broke bitch culture throughout my entire youth, right? Lack mindset. It's my biggest, Dina saying it's my biggest limiting belief. Dina, mine too, girl. Oh, I love this. I love this. Monique saying, I did that in college so much. Jen saying, yes. And my parents still talk like that. Yep. Everyone is saying, yes, 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 yes. I don't know who iPhone 2 is, but whoever it is, if you want to out yourself and just type who it is, they said, I just said that today. If you know something is good for you, and you know that this something is going to help take you to the next level, and you say, I cannot afford this, I cannot afford this, I cannot afford this. Do you think that this is helping you get further or farther away from your goals, dreams, and aspirations? Tell me. I want to know. Even if you at this very moment can't afford this, don't you understand that sometimes the flex of the energetic muscle is investing in something that you know down the road is going to help you go to the next level? And you might have to kind of like do some things and move some things around to help make this happen, but you still stay in that hypnotic rhythm of I can't, I'm broke, I can't, I'm broke, I can't, I'm broke. Remember Austin Powers, that movie? For some of you, you're a little too young, but remember Fat Bastard? He was like, I eat because I'm fat and I'm fat because I eat. It's a vicious cycle. Remember? It's the same fucking thing with your broke bitch mentality. If you're like, I can't afford something, then guess what? You're going to continue to be a broke ass hoe. And this is what the whole vibrational frequency of this moon tonight is. right? Jess says, my only funny talk now is at work that things are above my pay grade. Yeah, but that's being boundary ass ambitious though. I've changed my wording to, I don't feel like spending on X because it has no purpose to me other than taking up space and instant gratification. Absolutely. I love that. I love that. But when you say something is above my pay grade, like you're putting boundaries out there. So that's actually being really ambitious. So you should be truly proud of yourself right there. Okay, so awesome job. So remember, from the ages 0 to 7, so listen to this. Let me get my megaphone out. From the ages of 0 to 7, that's when your money mindset gets grooved into your brain. So think about all the shit you heard from the years that you could remember growing up, 0 to 7, about money, about there's not enough, we can't afford that. Only wealthy people can afford that. Only rich people can do that. Money doesn't grow on trees. What do you, oh, my grandfather always say, what do you think I'm, Daddy Warbucks? Do you remember Daddy Warbucks from frickin' Annie? Right? So from the ages of 0 to 7, the broke bitch mentality is what is imprinted into our brains. Or you might have been really wealthy growing up and you were embarrassed or ashamed that you had so much and many others had so little. I did not have that problem growing up, but I have a lot of friends who were like trust fund babies or very wealthy growing up, and they live like in a fucking van down by the river because they're so like uncomfortable about being wealthy. I remember I was watching a documentary once, and it was the Johnson & Johnson family, who's extremely obviously billionaires, multi-billionaires. And their son was just like a fucking loser. And he was like couch surfing. And then he was trying to get his dad to like give away all his money and all this shit. And it's just like, even that is broke bitch mentality, because instead of being like, wow, I'm a child of a very wealthy family, I can take this money and I can create incredible things to help people. I can go and be a philanthropist or whatever. They are embarrassed and ashamed of their wealth and abundance. So what they do is they dim their little light down that God gave them at birth to change the world and to make things better. And they choose to be bums and, spank their monkeys on someone's couch from Ocean State Job Lot from circa 1987. And if you're not from the New England area, you might not know what Ocean State Job Lot is, but all of my girls right now that are from like New England are like, oh yeah, we know that couch. We know that couch. I think I had that couch growing up too. So is everyone feeling this vibe right now? Is everyone feeling like they deserve more? They desire more? Like they're playing too small? I want to know what the consensus of the world is right now. Like, do you feel like you're playing too small? Do you feel like you're playing the victim? Do you feel like you're stuck in that victim mentality? Do you feel like you're not enough? Do you feel ashamed of where you are with your money? I want to know. This is very important. So feel free to type it in the chat. Okay. So let's get into this. I know that I asked you guys to bring journals. Now, if you don't have your journal for some reason, because you're driving or whatever, that's totally fine. We're going to share this on the app. So don't feel bad. Yeah, everyone's saying I've been feeling like I've been holding myself back big time. Everyone's saying you're on spot. Kathy's saying, I feel ashamed where I am with my money, but I went into this year knowing I was going to change that. Absolutely. And that is the power. Is saying like, okay, this is where I am, but I know that I can do better. The disempowering thought is, this is where I am and this is where I'm always going to be because XYZ, my grandparents had no money, my parents are immigrants, I come from no, whatever your story is, right? Brittany's saying, oh, sorry, let me move up one second. Caroline saying, yes, I have had numerous setbacks and sometimes spending money just has a feeling of instant gratification, but then I feel shame when we are living paycheck to paycheck. Absolutely. But then you have to say to yourself, and obviously Caroline's a good friend of mine, so I can talk to her like this. You have to say to yourself, well, God gave me all these gifts and I could be using these gifts to actually make money and bring more money into my family, right? Like, what if I told you, okay, Caroline, a year from now, I'm going to teach you these 5 things and you're going to make 6 figures by the end of 2023. That's so easy. It's like, Please, I wipe my ass with that kind of money. And I'm telling you right now, I was a broke ass hoe. You guys know my story. When I was 25 years old, I was working at a fucking strip club. I was working at a concession stand at the Taunton fucking Greyhound track. I was bussing tables. I was blowing random guys in the woods. I'm like, I should not be where I am today. But I had to deprogram the old programming and reprogram the old programming. And a lot of my deprogramming and reprogramming happened when I was working with coaches, when I was working with healers, and when I was doing the work. So when people go like, what is the work? That's the work. That's the work, is saying, I am not where I desire to be, but I'm going to stand on the shoulders of giants and I'm going to learn these skills. And then I'm going to go out there in the world and I'm not going to play small anymore. And I am going to be abundant beyond belief, you know? And this is not just to Caroline. This is to anybody here that's feeling the same way she is, because I know a lot of you here personally and intimately, and I know it's very similar to what Caroline just said. Brittany says, I've been meditating twice a day and journaling, and I've gotten much better about my mindset. However, I still feel like I can step up much more and I'm ready. Well, that just the fact that you said I'm ready makes it so powerful, you know, and people are saying yes, but I feel like it's time for the change. And that's amazing. And it makes me so happy. Gab says, what I believe internally about money plus what I deserve doesn't reflect what I have on the outside, and it holds me back, but I know this year is going to change. And you know, Gabrielle, I actually I'll kind of challenge you when you said what I believe internally about money and what I deserve doesn't reflect what I have. Yes, that may be true, but have you, and we're going to work on this deeply tonight, have you dipped into what your subconscious mind thinks about money? Because on the outside, you might be like, I'm a rich bitch and I deserve it all. And I should be in Dubai living my best Rolls Royce life. But in the subconscious mind is like, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? You don't deserve this. Look where you came from. Your family were immigrants. They had nothing. That was one of the biggest things that I had to reprogram myself, was because my parents didn't have anything. And I was so afraid of not being loved and not being enough and not being accepted if I got too wealthy. So what I would do is I would get to a certain capacity of income and then I would self-sabotage, because I didn't want to lose the love of my family, even though that none of that would be true. But that is the story that I created for myself about, okay, don't, you can get wealthy, but you can't get too wealthy, because if you get too wealthy, then, you know, remember that old song, like Mo Money, Mo Problems from Biggie Smalls? That's like, I love Biggie, but that's one of my least favorite songs, because none of that's true. When you have more money, you can solve more problems. It's not that, oh, I'm going to have more money. You know, the reason why they had problems because they were like gangbangers and they were fucking, you know, fucking each other's wives and dealing drugs and shooting each other and shit like that. So I get where they're coming from, but that doesn't have to be my experience. So Gabby and everybody here, I really want to push you to go into that subconscious place today. And we're going to do that today. Just as the death of my old self and birth of my new self has been wild, awesome, and scary, but I'm so ready to totally shed the skin. And that's what the Scorpio energy is of this full moon. It's literally, Scorpio energy is Lilith. Google Lilith, Google the goddess Lilith when we get off of our call tonight, and get deep into her energy. Look at pictures of her. She has snakes all around her. You know, she was actually Adam's first wife in the Bible. And she was kicked out of the Garden of Eden because she did not want to submit to her husband. So there's this whole like really crazy story about Lilith and her energy. And a lot of people like don't like Lilith and they think that she's dark and all these things, but actually she's a powerful ass bitch. She is really the epitome. If you think about goddess energy, she is the epitome of being an HBIC, because she was like, fuck you, Adam. I'm not playing this game with you. Like, I'm a sovereign, autonomous bitch. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to wash your dirty, tidy whities in the stream near that beautiful like lotus flowers, I don't know, fucking tree or some shit. Like, she was like, I'm not doing this. And she got thrown out of, you know, the Garden of Eden. And that's what the energy is all about. Lilith and this Scorpio energy is like shedding the old skin and being in your shadow. Because I feel like so much right now in the spiritual world is like, peace, man, love and light. Love and light, no, good vibes only. It's like, fuck that. The only way to heal is to go into the depths, into the shit pit, and fucking sit in your shitty diaper and be like, I fucking suck. I learned bad things when I was growing up. I have lack money mindset. I don't feel like I'm enough. And I'm going to figure out why the fuck I feel like this. And I'm going to work with a healer, or I'm going to work with a coach, or I'm going to do the work on my own, or I'm going to come here for these type of talks and be inspired and motivated. And I'm going to do the work. And that's the energy. It's not love and light. Love and light only gets you so far. Listen to the song that I shared today from the Spotify playlist, my Ambitchious Spotify playlist. And it's, called The Villain Era. And he talks all about the vibe of this moon. And it's all about that Lilith Medusa energy, the snakes, the shedding of the skin, letting the old you die so that the new you can be reborn, right? Let me just go through my chats real quick. Do you like my middle finger candle behind me? I'm just wondering. And I have my candle going, my best bitch that Kim gave me. We also have my treasure troll over here, who's dressed up like Stevie Nicks. I don't know if you haven't seen her yet. This is who I'm channeling. This is who I'm channeling today for my full moon. Thank you, Kim Fox, for my best birthday gift ever. You guys know I'm such an 80s baby. Aileen says, being here in Ambitchious Academy, I have shed so much dead skin and I feel that deep layer is about to go bye-bye. That makes my heart sing. That makes my heart sing. Monique says, snakes have been coming up for me and one of my clients just gifted me a snake ring. If you guys could see, I don't know if I can show you. Hold on, let me hold my laptop up. Under here is actually my rug is a big black snake. And everyone's like, oh my God, why do you have a snake rug? I'm like, because it reminds me to keep shedding the old layers of shit that I have compiled over the years, right? Lacey says, on a side note, just get rid of someone who is actively telling me these things to purposely cause me to self-doubt and I'm taking my energy back. Abso-freaking-lutely. So you should be really proud of yourself, really proud of yourself. Nina says, yes, Katie, this is so true for me on so many levels. My mother still sends me job postings knowing farewell, my career path. God bless her. God bless her. You know, and remember, your mom's just doing that because she has her own fear. She's like, I don't want my kid to be a loser. No offense to her, but it's not about you. It's about her own shit. That's what Spirit's telling me right now to tell you. I hope that you listen. She says, I have felt a shift of being empowered and in control. That makes me so happy. I was actually saying to my husband today, I feel like the old Katie Boyd pre-COVID is coming back. And that makes me really happy because I was like, is this bitch ever coming back? She was a cool bitch. She was fun. I don't want to be like the bitch that was around for the last 2 years, just fucking dragging my titties on the ground, sad, wondering when shit was going to change. Let me see where else, and then we're going to get on to it. Okay. All right. Everybody get your journals out. So remember, we all have a money story. We all have a money story. It's how we were taught to think and feel about money from our parents, the culture that we grew up in, the media that we consumed, our family of origin, our ancestral DNA, all that stuff, right? So it really is about the foundations for how we feel and how we think and how we believe that money works. And like I said before, by the time that we're 7 years old, like that is the foundation and it's not going to change unless you go in and deprogram the old programming. It's just like when you have an Apple, like a laptop, and it's like, you must upgrade to fucking Sierra Mist 2003 or whatever the fuck, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? We have to do that to our brains, but we give more energy to doing that to our fucking laptops than we do to our own selves. And therein lies the problem, right? So for many of us, that means that we interact with, adhere to, and we limit ourselves in the ways that money works based on the ideas that we were exposed to in the early years of our life, right? And the powerful truth here is that our money story and that we've been telling ourselves, so not only what people have been telling us, but what we've been telling ourselves, and the money mindset that we've adopted can be challenged and it can be changed, okay? But first, we have to really make the story that we're telling ourselves conscious. Remember, I was saying to Gabrielle, go to your subconscious mind and really sit with your subconscious mind and see what your subconscious mind is saying. So today we're going to do 10 journal prompts. We don't have to do the journal prompts tonight, right? This is an ongoing work that we're all going to do together. And it's going to help you recognize your money story. And it's going to allow you to begin transforming your money mindset and releasing this energy, which is so poignant and so auspicious and so powerful under this blood moon that we're having tonight, right? Okay. Are you ready? Here's the first shadow work prompt that we're going to work with tonight for our releasing all that money mindset that is limiting us from becoming our best self. So the first thing is, what is my first memory with money? What is my first memory with money? So really, 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 girls, think about this one. At first, it might seem difficult to try because it's such an old memory. But once you have a time in mind, begin to expand upon the point. And we're going to do a little meditation today about going to that place where that faulty programming began. So was money a happy memory? Was money, when you were a child, your first memories, was it tied to scarcity? Was it tied to confusion? Was it tied to frustration and anger? Where were you? Where were you during this time where that faulty programming happened? What was happening to you internally? Who else was there when the faulty money mindset programming was happening? And what emotions or beliefs were those people who were around you during this early memory? What were they displaying in the relation to this money? You know, for me, I remember like my mother and father would always fight about money. It was like their number one fight. Now, a lot of you, I'm sure, can attest to that. I had a client this week who I was doing a one-on-one with, and she said, and I was working with money mindset with her for her business. And I said, well, what was the first time that you remember like the faulty programming coming in? She goes, I remember my mom fighting with my dad on the phone over child support for me. And she was like 5 years old and she remembers this. She goes, I can't remember what I had for breakfast today, but I can remember I was 5 years old and I did this. I had this experience with my dad and my mom fighting over child support. Okay. That'll fuck you up. That'll make you feel real under the weather when it comes to money. The second question here is, what did my family believe about money and how it worked? So what did my family believe about money and how it worked? So what were some of the most common things you heard your parents say about money? Were they positive? Were they negative? And there are, like I said before, there are lots of well-known phrases to do with money that people hear. So like, money doesn't grow on trees, money doesn't make the world go round, money is the root of all evil, right? Did you ever hear your family say these things? That's huge. The third question here is, what do you believe about money? What do you believe about money? What do you commonly think of or feel when you're thinking about money? Do you feel as though there's never enough, or do you feel abundant and like you're always supported monetarily? So here are some popular beliefs around money. And I'm sure, and like, let's go one by one. And I want you to count how many that you believe. Okay, let's do a little game. Ready? I'm bad with money. So count it, count on your fingers. I can't save money. I just can't save it. I can make it, but I can't save it. I never have enough. There's never enough money to go around. I can never make enough money. I live paycheck to paycheck. I feel guilty and ashamed for having debt. Making money means that I'm taking it from someone else. In order to make money, you have to work really hard because success is hard to achieve. Let me just take a sip. I'm bad at paying off my debt. Saving money is a struggle. Do you ever feel like every purchase you have to like evaluate it and like ask a million questions and know why and what and how? You can always get it cheaper somewhere else, right? You'd want something there and be like, oh, you should look for it when it goes on sale. No, bitch. Chanel and Louis Vuitton don't go on sale. They don't have sales, honey. Okay. Living within your means is the best way to live. God doesn't want us to have money. You shouldn't make a lot of money by helping people. A lot of my healers here, y'all are broke ass hoes. So fucking talented. So many gifts from God to be coaches and healers, and you fucking don't charge. Or you don't charge your worth. and this is when I work with people on because it's so important. I never have enough money for what I want, and life is too expensive. How many do you guys have? I want to know. Put it in the chat. Type that number. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 16 of them. There's 16. Lindsay has 10. Dina has 11. You guys. Oh my God, I'm going to shit a purple Twinkie. Shar has 12. Okay, we got to work on this. Well, you guys are fucking Portuguese. So that like came with the upbringing, right? Oh my God, you guys, I'm going to cry. Stop this. What? Okay, we got to work on this, guys. I did not know that this was so big of a deal. Maybe I should really start doing some more deep work on this because this is concerning to me. Okay, the next question here is, what do I believe about people who have a lot of money? What do I believe about people who have a lot of money? So I'd like you to think not only about how you perceive money itself, but I also want you to think about how you perceive or feel about people who possess a lot of money. And this can be really interesting, guys, to consider. A lot of messaging that we receive in the Western world is that people with wealth are greedy and evil. If you think about many of the movies that we watch, wealthy people are portrayed as the villains. When I really thought about the people in my own life who are wealthy, and it was a stark comparison to the world of wealth that I'd be into in pop culture. I have so many wealthy friends. I have friends that are multimillionaires. I have friends that are billionaires. And they're the nicest, kindest, sweetest, most loving, caring people I know. And I am a multi-7-figure earner, and I'm pretty fucking awesome. I mean, look I'm doing this shit for you for free. I could have been playing with my pussy, drinking a delicious red wine, and watching fucking Outlander. But here I am doing this because God put me on this earth to help raise the consciousness of women all over the globe. That's it. And there's no quid pro quo. I'm not like, oh, I'm doing this for you, you do this back for me. No, this is why I'm here, and this is part of my mission, and I chose to do this because the full moon. Ding dong, the end. Amanda goes, sorry, said to Monique instead of LOL. She had 7, Aria had 4, and she's 9 years old. Okay. So think about when we're babies. When we're babies and we're in the womb, we're like, oh my God, it's delicious in here. It's like an all you can eat buffet. I'm never lonely. I'm always near a heartbeat. I'm taken care of. This bitch up here, whoever she is, my mother, I guess I call her, she just walks me around all day. I don't have to do anything. And so when we're born, we're not born with lack mindset. We're born with abundance. There's abundance of everything. I eat when I want. I poop when I want. I don't even have to wipe my own ass because it just goes into some little tube. This is amazing. And then when we're born and we're little babies, do you think that we're like laying in our little crib and they're like, damn, my diaper's wet, but I really shouldn't cry because like my mom, she's been really working hard. She's like super sleep deprived. No, you're like, wah, my diaper's wet. But at some point in time, someone says to us, you know, you can't have everything you want. Like if you were one of these people, I would love to know, but did someone tell you when you were growing up and you heard it numerous times, like, you can have whatever you want whenever you want it? Did you ever hear that? Or were you told that's too much candy, put half of that back, we can't afford that? Or you can't have those stickers because we can't afford that? Or share with your brother because there's no more left. Did you ever hear these things growing up? Or did someone really tell you, you can have whatever you want whenever you want it? You are abundance, being of light, made in the likeness of God. Were you told that growing up? Because I sure fucking wasn't. No. It was the opposite, right? We have to get back to that mindset of being a little baby and being like, I can get whatever the fuck I want and be whatever I want, do whatever I want, whenever I want. But I have to choose the exact thoughts, the exact words, and the exact deeds to create that reality. The next question here is, what do I think people will think of me if I have a lot of money? This was one of my biggest things. I always cared about what people would think about me if I was too rich. You know, like when I would get something nice, I wouldn't tell people, you know, if I get a nice car, if I would get, you know, if I was doing a project on my home, or if I had like a new purse, I would never tell anyone. I would never tell anyone because I didn't want people like, oh, Katie boy thinks she's better than everybody. And guess what? I wouldn't tell anybody and they would still think that about me. So you're damned if you do or you're damned if you don't. So might as well say, fuck it and just live your best life. Ronnie says, you can't always get what you want, right? But that's not true. You can have anything you want. You can have anything you want whenever you want. You just have to create an energetic vibrational frequency that is a direct match to what you desire, right? Monique says, I just wrote down 5-year-old confidence to manifest abundance, right? Think of little kids when they're in the store and they throw themselves on the ground. They're like, I want that cookie. Do they get the cookie? Almost 100% of the time they get the cookie. Now, I'm not saying to be a brat and scream and cry and be a little fucker, but if you had the audacity to wake up every day and like reach out to people for sales and not care about being turned down and just show up on social media and like talk and be and speak victory, would you really have that many problems in your life if you weren't so afraid? 5-year-old confidence, baby. That's where it all comes from, and not giving a fuck about what people think. The next question is, what kind of relationship do I have with money? Because remember, money is a relationship. Think of it as like a romantic relationship and an exchange of energy. Is the relationship that you have with money, is it of peace and reciprocity, or is it constant turbulence and constant drama? So ask yourself, are you a power couple, or are you trying to file for divorce from your money? Lacey says, like, dim myself to not cause attention about how I'm doing. Yes. When in Ambitchious, in this bitchhood that I worked 20 years to create, we are cheerleaders for each other. When one person does well, ask anyone that's in Ambitchious Academy, ask anyone that's a mentorship person. We are like, yes, queen. Yes. How can we support you? How can we share your shit on social media? How can we be there for you? Can we show up to your event? Can we buy you a fucking Carvel ice cream cake? Oh my God, that sounds so good right now. I'm going to get my period. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how can we support? And then you go out there into the nether regions, the nether world. And it's like in Beetlejuice, when you walk out the door and you go into that sand fucking dune shit where that big worm is like, ah, ah, that's the outside world. And in here, we're like the Maitlands. We're like, this is fun. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And so everyone's complaining about like how they have no support, but they don't attract and do the things that it takes to get support from other women. And that's what this is all about. And we all do. Monique speaks so much victory. And right, Amanda, your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you're looking to heighten your vibrational frequency and start manifesting abundance and having a relationship with women who actually fucking support you, and they don't care if one of us is doing better than the other, because they know everything's a season and we all have to take turns. It's beautiful. So the next question is, this is really good. What kind of relationship do I desire to have with money? So it doesn't mean it has to be the relationship that you have now, but what do you desire to have, right? Amanda says, make witchy women your friends, 100%. And if you haven't already listened to the Sister Wound and the Witch Wound podcast on Ambitchious, the podcast, go and listen to both of those, because it will explain a lot of what we're talking about. The 8th question is, what would I believe about myself? Well, this is a good one. What would I believe about myself if I had all the money that I desired? What would I believe about myself if I had all the money that I desired? Right? So what would it mean to have everything you've desired in life because you would now afford it? Imagine you have the margin and the savings that allows you to step away from scarcity thinking and to have whatever you dream about, whatever you desire. So what would it mean if you're really able to step into that version of yourself? And feel free to share your answer in the chat. Sandra's saying peace. Absolutely. And listen, I have a lot of money. And it took me a very long time to attain the wealth that I have. And I'm telling you right now, you're still the same crotchety bitch as you were when you were a broke ass hoe. You just can do cooler shit and you can have more freedom. But wouldn't it be cooler if you weren't the crotchety bitch anymore and you could actually really be in that place of gratitude? It's amazing. The 9th question here is, are the rewards for keeping myself at my current financial set point helping me? Okay, this is some shadow work, motherfuckers. Okay, think about it. Every time that we choose to not make a move and stay in the current situation that we are in, no matter what it is, it doesn't have to be money, it can be anything. You have to be honest with yourself and you have to say to yourself, yes, this is actually helping me in some way. It's getting me attention, or it's helping me fulfill that fear procrastination energy, or it's helping me stay in my victim mindset. Rita, the question is, are there rewards for keeping myself in my current financial situation? So people always say, like, I want to be wealthy, I want to be abundant, I want to have, an excess of money. And then I say to them, well, you have to do this, 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 and this. And they're like, oh, that's too hard. Well, guess what? What's harder, being a broke ass hoe or putting yourself out there and doing the fucking work? Because in my opinion, being a broke ass hoe sucks. Like, I want each and every one of you guys to go into any store and buy whatever you want, to go on any vacation you want, to have any car that you want, to have anything that you desire, period. And it's here and available for everyone in the world, period. And the last question, and this could be a serious like study, is, if I wrote a letter to money, what would it say? If I wrote a letter to money, what would it say? So now that, we've gone through these 9 questions, you've examined where your money beliefs are and the stories that you've been telling yourself about money, would you like to apologize to money? If you go back to the lens of the romantic relationship, like we were talking about in question 7 or 8, you've been acting like a confusing lover. So think about it. If you were like fucking this dude, okay? He was fucking fine, okay? He was hot. He had a freaking big Peter. He was ripped. He was gorgeous. He had like a body like the friggin' Rock, a face like Jason Momoa. He had all the money in the world. He had everything. And you were like, this is marriage material. Yes, honey, sign me up. And then one day you're like, I love you. And the next day, I hate you. And I love you again. I hate you. He'd be like, bitch, you need medication. You need to go see someone. I'm breaking up with your ass. Go fuck yourself. You bitches do the same thing with money. You treat them like some shitty boyfriend from college, right? Like, what the hell, guys? You gotta be consistent. Consistency is key in every relationship in your life, right? So stop treating your boyfriend money like he's just like some, like Steve Urkel, Screech from fucking Saved by the Bell. He is Mario Lopez, okay? Get it together. He is Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block, and you are treating him like Danny. And it's really not nice. And you guys gotta stop it. Okay, any questions before we move on anything? Isn't this so fun, guys? This is so good, right? All right. So in my book, we have an incredible inner child healing. And I want to just help you. Dina, these pop references are giving me life right now. Like, you got to treat your money like a Care Bear and not a Care Bear cousin. Know what I'm saying? Just saying. All right. In the book, Ambitchious, if you haven't picked it up yet, you go on my website, kbmsc.com, and you can get my book or my bitch box. But there's a really awesome meditation that I do. It's in one of the last chapters. It's chapter 11, Leaving a Footprint, and it's inner child healing. And everyone I have do inner child healing says it's changed their lives. But what if we did the inner child healing and we pinpointed the places that actually were the times in our lives that you could go back to and remember the exact time where the faulty programming started, right? Like, what if we could do that? I've never done it with anyone in this capacity, but I think it would be really, 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 really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to record a video of my inner child healing for you guys to do around this money. And I'm going to share it on our app instead of taking more time out tonight, because I want to get to some other things. Obviously, sound healing is really super important. I'm going to do that for you guys. Sorry, I overdid it tonight. And I know a lot of you have to go at 8. So I'm going to record that for you guys. But in the meantime, I'm going to hop upstairs because that's where my bowls are. But in the meantime, I want you guys to do this journaling work. I want you guys to start spending more time on the Ambitchious app where like these really amazing things happen. And the other thing that I really, really, really want you guys to do is do your full moon rituals. The best things to do for your full moon rituals tonight is, after we get off our call tonight, just sit for a couple minutes, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever you can afford, and do some of this work. And then when you start having these aha moments, I want you to take a piece of paper. It could just be like a piece of paper from your journal or a notebook or a piece of computer paper. And I want you to write down all the truths of all the things that have been coming up for you doing this work. And what I want you to do is I want you to write it down, and I want you to go outside. And it doesn't have to be tonight. It could be tomorrow or even Wednesday, because we work with energies of the full moon 3 days before and 3 days after. But I want you guys to go outside, and I want you to release this under that full moon energy. So what you'll do is you'll write on your piece of paper, under this full moon, I release the following, and you just bullet point it, limiting self-beliefs about money, that I'm not enough, that I have to work hard to make money, that I have a bad relationship with money, that whatever it is that you come to, that comes to light, and you read it out loud under the full moon. And then you say at the end, and I release this, I let this go. Like a snake, I shed this as old skin. You can make it however you want. I always tell people, like, this is your ritual. You create it to be whatever you desire it to be. Obviously, the things that I say are going to be different. And I was actually talking to Lori Cabot tonight, who is the witch of all the witches in Salem. And I had a call with her tonight. And she was telling me, because I was telling her about what I was talking about with you guys tonight. And she was just like, this is so right on the money. And she said to me, and this is the words of the witch of Salem. Okay. If you guys, Lori Cabot is fucking iconic. Google Lori Cabot, the witch of Salem, and you're going to shit a purple Twinkie when you see this woman. And she's fucking amazing. And she said to me 2 things. She said, I don't care if you're Catholic, I don't care if you're Christian, but everybody should have a silver rosary near their bed at night. That's number 1. And the second thing she said is, you have to heal your money mindset now, because if you guys keep going on like this, you're going to get caught up in a karmic loop and you'll never get out of it. Do you ever see the movie, the show American Horror Story Coven? I don't know if you guys like American Horror Story. Remember the girl that was like Stevie Nicks? She's always in every American Horror Story. And remember when they were trying to do resurgence on her? She died and they were trying to bring her back to life. And then she lived that hell every day, killing that frog. That is what you all will do for the rest of your lives if you don't start healing this shit now. You're going to get stuck in the resurgence energy of that karmic loop of living the same fucking nightmare over and over and over again. And for many of you here, you've been doing that for a really, really, really long time. Okay. So cut the shit. This is huge. This is huge, huge, huge stuff that we're doing today. Do not take this for fucking granted, and do not take this lightly. This is magic that we're doing. Why do you think when you write, they call it spelling? Just little tasty treat to just nibble on tonight. So releasing that under the full moon. And, you can do the 3-dimensional shit, right? You can charge your crystals under the moonlight. You can make moon water and all that fucking hokey shit. But if you really want to, I fucking actually, no, don't fucking do that. I'm so fucking sick of hearing everybody being like, oh my God, I have to, should I charge my crystals? Who gives a fuck about your fucking crystals when you're a bunch of broke ass hoes who are sad all the fucking time? What do you want the moon water for? To douche your fucking asshole? Your sad, broke asshole? No, stop with this fucking 3-dimensional shit. I am so sick of all of you people doing the fucking McDonald's drive-through of spirituality. Spirituality doesn't happen like this. Healing doesn't happen like this. No one can tell you, oh yes, in 24 hours, this is released for you. No, you have to choose to release it. You have to fucking do the work. I don't care. You can put all the crystals up your ass you want. You can go sun your fucking butthole under the moonlight with crystals hanging out of your ass. Guess what? It ain't helping you, honey. You got to do the work. And that's why so many people are so fucking afraid to work with me, because they know I'm going to fucking ride them hard and hang them up wet. But that's what makes the fucking shit happen. So stop asking me, fucking inbox me. Oh my God, should I charge my crystals tonight? Why don't you stop being a broke ass hoe? Why don't you start getting your shit together? Who cares about your goddamn crystals? Who cares about your moon water? You fucking break. That shit is like baby witch shit. Like, come on, come with the big witches, honey. Don't play. I don't want to be friends with baby witches. Okay, let's get it together. I'm sorry, but I've been like holding this in for so long. I'm so sick of baby witch shit. Get it together. If the biggest thing you do is sage your house and you charge your crystals and you make moon water, you are a sad, sorry sack. Let's do the real work. Everything I just gave you is like priceless. Okay. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. I'm back. Sorry. I had a demon come through my body and I just removed them. God. I am on fire tonight. Okay. So Dina's saying, what do we do with the moon ritual after we read out loud? Okay. No, you don't save the paper. Sorry, that's when I went on my tangent. I blacked out for a second and Beelzebub came through my body and put a pitchfork up my butthole. Okay, so you read your thing. So you say, Mother Moon, tonight I am releasing the things on this paper that no longer serve my highest, greatest good. You read them and then you say, and so it is. Or if you really want to be witchy, you just say, and mote it be. If you want to love Jesus, you say, in Jesus' name, amen, Allah, Buddha, whomever, I don't care. And then you light it on fire because the smoke transmutes the paper and the smoke is what lets the energies reach energetically the ethers, if that makes sense. So that's the best thing that you can do. I always like to double write it though. I like to write a paper that burns. And I also like to write a paper to save, because it's always nice in 28 days when there's another full moon to look at your shit and go, oh, how cool is that? Like, I really let go. I really let go of all these things. Like, how fucking amazing is this, right? Yeah, or Aileen says, I take a picture before I burn them. You're so fucking smart living in the 2022, you smarty pants. Thank God. Okay, does anyone else have any questions? Hopefully not about crystals or moon water. Okay, I want to do a 10-minute sound healing just to wrap all the energies up. And I want us all to go in peace and live our best life. Adrian says, we actually did this on our retreat senior in high school, Catholic school. We burned our things. That is so pagan and I'm here for it. That was a very progressive Catholic school. I think you went to the same school as The Craft, the girls from The Craft. Freaking, I just watched that. I made Matt watch that the other day. He was like, this is fucking weird. I go, shut the fuck up. This was my life circa 1994. Be quiet. I literally was living for that fashion. I was living for it. Let's be honest. Okay. You guys ready? You guys ready for a little sound healing? Who loves sound healing? Raise your hands. I certainly do. It's going to feel so good. And I already tuned my bowls. So all the energy that I'm sending you tonight is to release and speak your truth and step into your power and be the best that you can be. Okay. My husband's texting me because he's like afraid to come in the house. He's like, I'm coming home. Is it all right if I come in the house? I don't want to like do anything. If you're like, you know, sacrificing an animal or something. Just kidding. I would never. I'd sacrifice a human over an animal any day of the week. Let's be honest. Animals are so much more cool. All right. Ready, guys? All right. So I'm going to turn off my video for just a second. I want everyone to get super comfy cozy if you can. And just a couple minutes of sound healing just to wrap up this night. And how awesome will this be? If you have to leave, good night, good night, good night. Enjoy your new moon rituals. Okay, I'm stopping my video. I'm going to run upstairs. All right, guys, so go ahead and get comfy wherever you're sitting. Let's close our eyes and let's take 3 deep breaths. Taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, filling up your lungs. Exhaling all the way out. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. breath in through your nose, filling up your lungs. Letting it all out. Exhale. Inhaling in through the nose, filling up those lungs. All the way out. Exhale. Last deepest breath of the day, filling up those lungs all the way. And letting it all out. Exhale. Nice job, guys. How does everybody feel? All right. So you got your work cut out for you. You got your work cut out for you. All right. So I'll send you guys that. I'll share that meditation with you all over on the app. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Gabrielle says, thank you, Katie. Also, any last minute tips for burning the paper, living in an apartment in the city? Don't want to burn down my complex. Yeah, just go outside. Just go outside and hold it and bring a little cup of water and just put it out like when it starts to get to the bottom. That's what I usually do. By the way, I've had many a firefighter at my studio. Ask anyone that knows me. I've actually burned my weave one time on a candle. My whole head went up in flames. That was really fun. So I feel you on the burning your place down. I'm just going to have to trust and not worry about what others around me think. Yeah, they're just going to be like, they're either going to use that real, like using crack and cocaine, you know, that one to get high, or they're going to use the real and they're going to film you from their balcony about back in the 1600s, this woman would have been tied to a stake and burnt to death. Like, who cares, right? I mean, they should be out there asking you what you're doing so that they can level up. But, you know, 98% of the human population are fucking zombies anyways. So let them think whatever they want. You know, in the great words of my friend Gasper Cruz, if they're not feeding you, fucking you, or financing you, who gives a fuck what they think? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? All right, guys. In the meantime, here's a couple things. Number one, because it's Mercury retrograde, we are not launching anything new, but Mercury goes direct at the end of the month. And on June 6th through the 8th, we have a 48-hour open and close cart for Bitchapalooza. Bitchapalooza is going to be happening on January 6th, 7th, and 8th at my studio in Hudson, New Hampshire. If you want to know all of the details, the fine details, I actually filmed a video live today on the Ambitchious app called just Bitchapalooza ! And let me tell you, when you guys hear what Bitchapalooza entails, you're going to be all over that like friggin' flies on shit. So if you sign up between the 6th and the 8th of June, I'm taking $444 off the top of the price for Bitchapalooza. Okay. And then we're also opening up a 48-hour open and close cart for the second semester of Ambitchious Academy. So semester 2 starts, starts the week after the 6th. So if you guys sign up in that open and closed cart, you're going to get the discounted rate that we gave the girls that signed up for Ambitchious Academy back in December. So it's usually $189.99 a month for Ambitchious Academy. But if you sign up within that 48-hour open and closed cart, we're actually going to do it for $149.99. And there's also another discounted rate if you pay in full. So that's going to be June 6th to the 8th. So some big things coming up. We also have a spirit day at the end of June. It's a one-day event at my studio. So if you liked what we just did, it's an 8-hour day and a dinner, which is really fun. And you get to meet women from all across the globe who are just like you, who are trying to go to the next level. But like I said, if you want to know all the fine details about Bitchapalooza, get on over to that video that I recorded this morning, and you are going to love it. It's going to be amazing. And in the meantime, guys, like my app is like my lifeline. It's like having my cell phone. So anytime you guys have anything that you want to talk to me about, you know, always feel free to inbox me. And if you're wondering how you can work with me, but you don't know how that you want to work with me, You're always more than welcome to get on what I call a clarity call. It's a free 20-minute call, and we talk about your goals and your dreams, your aspirations. And I kind of talk to you about what I feel would be the best way to work with me, whether it's coming to an event or doing Ambitchious Academy or doing mentorship or a VIB day, which is an 8-hour day alone with me, which is a full day immersion. So, you know, take me up on the offer to get on that free call. I mean, you don't have to buy anything, but a lot of people are like, I want to do something with Ambitchious, but I just don't know what to do. And this is a great way to get me on the phone and ask me questions so that you make the right choice, because I want to make sure that you do make the right choice. Because if you don't make the right choice, you're probably going to be a dingleberry hanging from one of my asshole hairs for like a while. And I know I'm not into that. I'd rather just like point you in the right direction, make sure that you're a good fit for Ambitchious and our bitchterhood, and make sure that I can actually help you with what you're doing. If you live in Southern New Hampshire, it is pouring fucking rain out. So I'm not going to be going outside probably because I'll melt. I mean, you saw what happened to the Wicked Witch of the West, right? So I'm going to be doing a lot of my my own rituals inside today. But if you do live in an area, wherever you live, and it is beautiful out, get outside, because I'm sure it's going to be absolutely incredible. Does anybody have any questions before I sign off tonight? How does everyone feel? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel amazing? Do you feel scared? Like, what are you feeling? I would love to know. All the above, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. Oh, Brittany says so empowered. Karen says inspired. Thank you. That means the world to me. I mean, this is why I love to do this kind of stuff. It's so right up my alley. Right up my alley. Sarah says empowered faux show. That's what I like. Gabrielle says I'm a little scared, but you made it so much better. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid, baby. Like ripping off a Band-Aid. It says feeling amazing. That sound healing was intense for me, but wow, I feel great. Yeah, sound healing is very intense. A lot of people think it's like, oh my God, like we're just going to lay on the ground and like have sound healing. No, dude, this is like a fucking spiritual enema, because each one of these bowls is attuned to a different type of energy. And each one of these bowls I've attuned to the energy that I guess to the job that I want it to do for each one of you. Right. And when you're like Kelly says, I had some insights during sound healing. Some of my best aha moments come when I'm just doing sound healing on myself. I always have my bowls with me. I always do my own sound healing. So remember what I said. Remember what I said tonight about the lack money mindset. Like you can be wealthy, you can be abundant, but still have subconscious fear around money. So let's really, really, really work on that this week. And let's keep the conversation going over in the app. Okay. And like I said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to inbox me on the app. And I'm so happy that you guys are ready to do the work. It's going to be amazing. And we're all going to be here rooting each other on and cheering each other on, because that's what HBICs do. They realize that there is enough to go around for everyone. And at the end of the day, we're all just here walking each other home. Because at the end of the day, we're all going back to the source of where we came from. And life is so short. So to live life sad and scared and broke and limited, I don't think that that's why God put you here. Actually, I know that's true. Okay. So I love each and every one of you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy lives to do this work. And thank you for allowing me to facilitate that. And I'm so looking forward to keeping this healing and this conversation going on over on the app. And bring as many people as you can onto the app, because the more the merrier, like I always say. I love you guys. Get to your healing rituals and don't forget to stay ambitious. Mwah. Thank you guys. Nighty night.